Welcome to the Checkpoint Certified Security Administrator course. This course is also known as the CCSA and the version is R81. As part of the requirements for this course, you are expected to have basic networking knowledge. So you need to understand how to assign IP addresses to computers both manually and using DHCP. You need to understand DNS, you need to understand protocols like your TCP, UDP, you need to understand HTTPS, HTTP, FTP, SSH. You need to understand your Telnet and your SSH as well. You also need to understand routing, so you need to have knowledge of your routing information protocol, your static routes, OSPF, and many more. But it's not a cause for alarm if you do not have this knowledge, as in this course, I am going to be putting you through. My name is John Paul Chukwujeku, a network security engineer, and I'll be your guide in this course. So this course, the CCSA, if you want to write your exam, you would have to go to a person view center. When you pass your exam, your certification would be valid for 2 years. Afterwards, you'll be expected to write the CCSE certification, which is also valid for 2 years. And then you'll be expected to become a checkpoint certified security master. If you want to become a checkpoint certified security master, then you would need to write two Infinity Specialist exams. So rather than writing just one exam that gives you the CCSM, you have to just write two Infinity Specialist exams instead. So you start your career pathway from the CCSA, then you move on to the CCSE, where you become a security expert. You write two Infinity Specialist exams like the CCTA, which stands for the Checkpoint Certified Troubleshooting Administrator, the CCTE, which stands for the Checkpoint Certified Troubleshooting Expert, the CCCS, which stands for the Checkpoint Certified Cloud Specialist, the CCES, which stands for the Checkpoint Certified Endpoint Specialist exam. So you can write any of those exams, just two, and then when you pass those exams, automatically you become a Checkpoint Certified Security Master. In this particular course, we'll begin with an introduction to checkpoints, where we shall gain an understanding of the security architecture. We shall see things like the smart console that is used to create policies, the security management server that is used to save policies and objects, to store logs, and also to manage the security management, also to manage the security gateways. And then we'll also see the security gateway that is used to enforce policies and to protect the network from cyber attacks. So as part of the installation, we'll see the deployment modes, how we can have the standalone deployment, which means that you have the security management server and the security gateway installed on the same appliance. We shall also see the distributed deployments, where you can have the security gateway and the security management server on separate appliances. We'll also see the bridge mode, where your firewall is transparent. We'll also see how to create users via the CLI, which is also known as the CLISH, the command line interface shell. We'll see how to create users via the Gaia portal or the web UI, and we shall also see how to create users via the smart console. In the same way, we shall see how to create administrator accounts as well. Then we'll move on to licensing, where we shall see the different types of checkpoint licenses, the perpetual license, the plug and play license, the evaluation license. We shall see how to license the security management server. So you can have the central licenses, the local licensing, and many more. So we shall gain understanding of licensing or of licenses. Then we shall move on to policy management, where we shall see how to create policies, how to turn on the different blades. For you to create a policy for threat prevention, you need to create or you need to enable the threat prevention blades. For you to create a policy for URL filtering, if you want to filter traffic, you want to stop users from visiting Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and the rest, then you need to turn on the URL filtering blade and also the application control blade as well. So we shall see all the blades that needs to be turned on, and then we shall see how to configure policies for them. So part of the policies would include the HTTPS inspection, which we shall use to inspect HTTPS traffic. So the checkpoint gateway is going to decrypt every encrypted traffic, inspect that traffic, and then encrypt it back before the traffic is permitted to access the internet. We'd also see content awareness, where we shall stop or permit the upload or download of files based on their extensions. We'll see the data loss prevention, where we can protect leakage of sensitive information. And then we'll also take a look at identity awareness. With identity awareness, you can integrate your security management server with your Active Directory domain controller, or you can integrate it with a TACAS server or a Radius server for authentication. For example, your Cisco ICE. So we shall see how all these things can be done. Then we'll move on to traffic visibility. So with traffic visibility, we can gain insights into everything that occurs on the network. We shall see how to analyze logs, how to view smart events, and many more. And then we're going to move on to NAT, which is also known as the Network Address Translation. So we shall see how to configure the static NAT. We shall see how to configure the dynamic NAT. We shall also see how these things can be done both automatically and also done manually. We shall take a look at destination NAT, where we can give access to a server. Without your destination NAT, outsiders cannot gain access to your web server or to your IIS server or to your file server or many more, or an FTP server. So we shall see how destination NAT can be performed. And then we're going to take a look at ClusterXL. ClusterXL is Checkpoint's proprietary redundancy protocol that helps in ensuring that there is 100% uptime. So in case a particular security gateway goes down, the standby security gateway comes up immediately. So you can have your your active standby, as the case may be. You can perform load sharing. You can also do redundancy for your security management servers. Okay, so you can have a primary server and you can have a secondary server, as the case may be. So we're going to see how this can be done, and then we'll take a look at threat prevention. So we shall see how to protect the network from malware attacks. We shall see how to stop infected hosts from communicating with remote command and control servers using using the anti-bot blade. We shall also see how to use the antivirus blade and the IPS to protect the organization from malware. We shall see how the threat extraction blade can be used to extract active elements from documents, for example, JavaScript, macros, hyperlinks, and the rest of them. And we shall also see how the threat emulation blade can be used in analyzing files in a sandbox environment before users can be permitted to download such documents. We'll also take a look at the infinity threat prevention, where we can protect our data centers, east-west traffic, and many more. We shall take a look at IoT security, where we can protect things like printers, air conditioners, or anything that uses an IP address. And then we shall also take a look at backups, snapshots, database migration. So we can see, or we shall see, how to back up our global configurations. We'll see how to perform migration of the security management server database. We'll also see how to take a snapshot, because your snapshot is actually an encapsulation the of your backup and snapshots, or rather of your backup and database migration. And then as a bonus, we shall see how to perform or how to configure the virtual private network, both the site to site VPN between branches or the remote access VPN. So we shall see things like the IPsec VPN, your SSL VPN, and many more. So in this course, we have 3 course instruction methods. Lectures shall be delivered via videos. You shall also get slides, and you will gain access to workbooks as well. For the lab, we are making use of EVNG, we're making use of GNS3, and we're also making use of VMware as well. So I will then join you to enroll for this course. If you check the topology, you will see that we have 2 security gateways in a cluster. You can see the synchronization interface or the cluster interface. There's a link between them. So these gateways are in a cluster, and then they are being managed by the security management server. So we have Smart Console installed on our Windows server. This Windows server also functions as an Active Directory domain controller, and it is going to be integrated with the security management server. Okay, so we have our Windows server. On this Windows server, we have the Smart Console. We are going to be creating policies on Smart Console, and those policies are going to be installed, or rather, they are going to be saved or published. So policies are going to be saved on the security management server, because it is the duty of the security management server to store your policies, to also store logs, and to install policies on security gateways and to manage the gateways. So from Smart Console, we'll create policies, we'll save them on the security management server, and the security management server is going to push, or it is going to install those policies on the security gateway. So the security gateway would have to enforce the policies to protect the network from cyber attacks, and to filter traffic, to either permit or deny traffic based on the policies that have been created. And then we have our switches, we have the ISP router, which is our edge device, and then we also have the internet as well. So I would enjoin you to enroll for this course, as this course is going to be very informative, it is going to be very educative as well. I hope to see you in the course. Thank you.